Hi, Anubhav. Thanks for joining today's podcast. Hi, everyone. Anubhav is actually head of AI for Jiva.ai, and he has a lot to speak about AI, the current, uh, where it actually stands, and everything. And not just that, I also have questions from you guys. I happen to ask, I happen to post a few questions on Reddit, and a lot of you has reached out, and we have several questions to even get answered from him. So, Anubhav, thanks for actually joining our podcast today. And like I said, we have a
Of
lot to do,
course.
and the community is also very active, and they have their own questions. Can you just talk about yourself and what you do at Jiva.ai and a lot more that you perhaps like to share?
Yeah. Thank you, Abdul. Thanks for setting this up today with me. I'm working as a head of agentic AI here at Gwa AI. It's a AI automation company where we are building end-to-end workflows, just like digital workers from building kind of digital labor, who does a very repetitive tasks, just for building like kind of IT help desk around front and back office, front office. These kind of tasks can be done using this platform. We are basically like trying to digitize all these workers, just the manual labor tasks. I've been like I did my research from University at Buffalo, New York, in the past, and then I'm like I have around 6 to 7 years of experience in AI industry. So yeah,
Okay.
really looking forward for the conversation ahead.
Okay. What is it exactly that you are working on? I know you are Jiva.ai is happens to solve troubles in the marketing, like automating a lot of last part of that stuff and all of that. How is Jiva AI different from other tools that are actually competing in your own domain? Uh, how it actually stands out, and what's one unique USP would say?
Yeah, so basically the USP is we are basically like trying to build end-to-end workflows. First of all, there are two USPs I would say, or two modes I would say. There's first, which is kind of building all this like autonomous end-to-end life cycle, the whole life cycle from like for example, just if we take an onboarding offboarding life cycle of within a IT help desk team. So from onboarding to an offboarding of that particular employee for like around 5 years or whatever lifetime that employee has in that particular company. So we are solving that kind of work end to end workflow, which is the whole life cycle of that workflow. And then secondly, what we are solving is basically like all the other teams, how it is different. It's basically like we have in other like in all the other AI tools are basically like trying to just build all the wrappers above this like above AI or kind of agents right now. What is going on with us is basically like we are trying to solve this problem within multiple industry, and then mostly like all the other applications, like for example, how are we these people are like trying to solve within a particular domain, but we are like multi-domain, multi-agentic. So that's what we are trying to do, and then that's what is we differentiate from like uh, other platforms out there.
So just about 2 days ago, there was Google I/O. So were you watching that?
Yeah.
And what's your opinion on it?
Obviously, so they have like Google has like obviously like they have released a video kind of model. You can go ahead and edit all the videos and stuff. So that is a great thing. But they have also, on the other hand, they have also released managed agents, which won't like which is basically like overall, I would say it is a very great opportunity for all the users who will be using. Basically, like a lot of users are kind of doing repetitive tasks, or a lot of like companies are doing kind of repetitive tasks, which can be automated, like sending emails. Just an example, just a very simple example is sending automated emails, like we do marketing emails, etc. these all things can be automated or can be run on a schedule. So I would say like Google has released that managed agent, which is a great thing. And then you basically like the users the users can leverage that for all these tasks, the very repetitive tasks. So yeah,
I am myself a marketer, and we are experimenting with several AI tools, and we're also using Gemini and repeating that. And Omni that they released this week looks promising. But I happen to try it myself. Okay. And this is the theme across every AI platform. That is, uh,
yeah,
the demo, the promises looks amazing. But when it comes to execution, thanks, stands back. And the reoccurring thing that I've noticed is AI is a good piece of software that gives you it's like an autocomplete on steroids, right? Uh,
hmm,
when you use AI, it looks uh, very visible that it doesn't have intelligence. It's a good autocomplete. I want to understand because there are companies like Claude who are doing some brilliant stuff. For example, on Claude, this is what I've noticed, which is an amazing that if it thinks it needs to ask more questions before it gives an answer, it asks you those questions and then gives you the answer. That way, it actually avoids multiple fail points, unlike Gemini and ChatGPT or any other AI platform. So that way, they are doing it good. But still, the factor of intelligence is inherently missing. So I want to understand, because you're the head of AI, you guys are building. What's the current bottleneck in the technology? Why are we struggling to get past it? Why don't we see the intelligence? And I'll tell you one more snippet. That is, I
yeah,
just on my way, I was watching this particular podcast of the CEO of Take Two, that gaming
yeah,
company. And this person
right,
was just talking about creativity, how AI is like trained on data. I'm just summarizing what I've seen. Uh, and it can only do what something has already been done. It can't do new stuff.
correct,
And coming from the creative person, uh, that from a creative field, like that made sense, right? But
yeah,
any creativity has only gone forward. So intelligence is
yes,
required for that.
hmm,
So can you
yeah.
please more shed some light on that? And I have more questions to definitely ask.
Yeah, obviously. So basically, I'll start with the AI. What kind of like what is the use of like AI at this moment? So AI, all the AI models, a lot of them are undeterministic. So overall, the general picture of an AI is the AI models are undeterministic. Basically, they cannot. They have a lot of intelligence already, but they don't have a lot of. They also don't have a lot of intelligence. Basically, like there are two parts of it where there's a context and then there is a the context is basically like what the AI can handle, kind of like what how much data it can handle, and then second part is prompting. So you should ask what you are asking a particular like LLM model is basically like you can start with like you can start asking that LLM model what is going on this and that, but it will again like it will reply some random things always a lot of times. This is because it is lacking two things. First is context, and second is like a real prompting, because the context is basically like so you can think according to a human brain. We if we are given a lot of information at one point of time, we sometimes lose it, like we lose our mind, right. So we basically like lose a lot of like memory, but that's what is happening with AI at this moment. So actually the models, they are, as soon as like, so these all the companies have given a lot of like context to it. It has given a lot of data to it. Now it is always trying to like hallucinate on that particular data what was given. It has a lot of memory, but it is not able to remember it basically. That's what is going on at this moment. That's why there's a problem of hallucination. There's a problem of like prompting. There's problem of like kind of obviously you mentioned regarding Claude. It also hallucinates a lot. Even though it's asking questions this and that, but still it hallucinates a lot. So yeah, there's a lot of data ingested to that particular like model. Even though models are becoming intelligent, and then the companies are also trying to like go ahead and like improve and build the context windows. But still, a lot of memory is given to it. It's trying to hallucinate because it has a lot of data.
Yeah. On the same front, I would like to ask that we were discussing about context, right? Like for example, Google, Claude, even Grok, right? They are promising context limit of 1 million tokens. Basically, it's memory.
Yes.
Context is memory.
Mhm.
But in my use case, what I've actually consistently found is after three replies, the AI model actually starts to fail. It's not
Yeah.
like really 1 million. It's actually
Mhm.
much lesser. Okay. Then you need to
Yeah.
begin a new chat. Okay.
Right.
And if the AI model is so broken, the branch to chat option, branch to a new chat should be available across all different models because it has started to break. I mean, you want to continue on in a niche, in that option isn't like readily available. So I really want to ask: is Gemini, Grok, Claude, and the other AI tools, do they really have that 1 million context window, or is it just like fat? After three chats, you gotta begin a new one.
What I think, yes, they have it, but they again are a lot of companies are also like kind of claiming it. This I would think of. That's what I think currently, because they have to move forward in this AI race. A lot of obviously they would have given it 1 million like context window or something like that, but still there are a lot of like activities going inside a model. Because of that it hallucinates. It's not only like kind of context, but obviously you also give some kind of prompts as well. Prompts as in when you try to ask a question to that model, you basically have to give a prompt at that moment. And then if the prompt window is bigger, you the AI also tend to hallucinate at that point. So obviously some of the companies are probably like claiming it. Secondly, if you know if you know how to use it, then you will have a better leverage of using it. As we are doing, we are also learning every day, each and every day we are learning kind of different things. There's a lot of things releasing every single day on the prompt engineering side, on the agent side, everything. So yeah, obviously there are like some more prompt engineering practices which are coming along just to use that particular model, because these are like kind of, oh, today the Claude 4.7 opus got released, but now we don't know how to use it. It has 1 million token. It's very new. So but now we don't know how to use that LLM model. So that's what like people are figuring out right now at this moment.
Yeah. I'll just continue from the previous answer of yours. We discussed about the context window, and now I want to
Yeah.
discuss about the hallucination.
Hmm.
Because you also mentioned that Claude hallucinates, which it does, right? It has been
Hmm.
built beautifully, meaning there's something called UI, and there's the internal design part.
Yeah.
So Claude has got it nailed. So that is why for any normal user, it seems like Claude is the one that would succeed in the AGI
Yes.
aspect or whatever it is. However, even that actually fails in major elements that we ask for. I really want to understand about the mythos. So there are reports that are surfacing that mythos is not like as it's being advertised.
Yeah.
Again, the capabilities, the feature sets are even present in some underbuilt AI tools that are already out there. Let's say, for example, DeepSeek and all of that. At least that's what researchers are saying. So my thoughts,
Mhm.
what is claimed to be, is not something um, entirely true. So do you think Anthropic is being very sly in terms of how they are marketing their own products? And I want to really understand your, because you are the head of agentic AI for Jiva.ai. I want to take your point of view on how you see everything with Claude, Anthropic, and all of that.
Honestly, that was actually a great point. Um, I would wanted to talk about that already because it's like they have a great marketers. Honestly, I would say they have a great marketing team. They have a great everything. So, what is going on? I would start with a lot of people are thinking that Claude is God, but it's not at this moment itself, even though the models have not become that intelligent, even though at that moment people are thinking, oh, Claude can do anything. It's a very simple general purpose agent, which is, or I can say, general purpose kind of chatbot model, which can try to solve your problems. Not every problems, though. It can solve a lot of problems, but not every problem of yours. Secondly, they are trying to like obviously they have a good marketing team. They are marketing it very well, even though their models, some of their models are good, actually good, but some of their on the side some of their products or the features are not that good. So first of all, they just tend to hallucinate a lot. First of all, the models. Secondly, they have released a Claude design, which is not that good. How much we thought it would be, even though they have marketed it a lot. Like they are poaching a lot of like C-level execs of OpenAI and then Google, this and that. So they have a good strategy of marketing. They're really good. They're really good at it. But obviously, some of the features are really good. I would say the models are good. Some of them, like Opus 4.6, 4.7, were good, but the others are like okay. And then on the other hand, they have kind of Claude design, which is okayish. But the third thing what they have released um, recently is like Claude developed agents, which is basically not built for production at all. So it is like for day-to-day tasks which user can do, and a very simple task they can do with that. So yeah, that they are not. I mean, actually, it's a marketing gimmick from them, I would say. And again, with the mythos, the same thing. So I would say that yes,
Okay, I mean, like I truly agree with
yeah,
that myself. Andrea Amode, right? His name. He
yeah,
wanna pose himself as one of the savior again. Saving humanity from Sam Altman and OpenAI. But apparently, I
correct,
think
right.
he's equally evil. I guess. I want to understand because there's one promise that the whole AI industry is actually thriving on: improvement over time. Meaning, for example, the
Yeah,
Will Smith video, it was a
right.
sloppy video when that
Yeah,
was made like 3 years ago. Now we have
yeah,
got to a place where the videos look realistic, but still we are
hmm,
missing the uh, that kind of physicality, human physicality. For example, when I was on my way, I was seeing this particular video that was created by a Google Omni. Uh,
hmm,
Five people are sitting on a table and there's a soup
yeah,
or like pasta ball on his hand. So pasta ball is like, traveling along the finger. So the still the
yeah,
kind of I'm not really sure how to frame, but you can get it right. Like for example, I need to hold the book like this to uh, really bring it. But what if like it's travel
right.
along with my hand? So we are still
Yeah,
lacking all those kind of thing. Do you really think
thoughts.
is So I really want to understand because with LLM we have meta limit, right? No matter how much you scale, we have meta limit, and there's no more. Like that's why people are scrambling in the AI world to bring intelligence, AGI. right now it's just
Yeah.
like a autocomplete on steroid. Do you think we would ever, at least in the next 25 years or 10 years, when do you think we would reach an improvement that will feel like seamless, like really realistic? Like I think,
Yeah,
no,
I
my
think
question is clear.
it is clear. I understand that. Basically, you're trying to kind of ask is basically like how much far we are from the AGI, or how much
Perfection. Yeah.
what do you yeah, perfection. I don't think these models will be perfect anytime soon, very soon. I think it will take more than at least 50 years from now to come to that stage when we can achieve the AGI part of it. It will take that much time because even though we are building a lot of things, but there's still like certain things which are still lacking around, lacking behind. First of all, the issue is it's not only about the context and prompting; it's about the compute power. So the compute power, you won't be able to like get that much compute power how much a model training would want. These are very simple, like these are very simple models who have a very small intelligence, but these would require a lot of compute power, as you might have heard. They would require a big data centers. So obviously that compute power, that power, the electricity is also kind of like not possible at this moment. I don't know if you have heard about Terafab, which Elon Musk has just released.
Recently partnered.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, probably that kind of power would be required to run these all kind of all the data centers, as well as do kind of these trainings of models. So AGI is very far. It can keep. We can. We. I can say that at this moment is we can it will help a lot for the humankind um, to do the easier tasks or simpler tasks at this moment, but not that thought kind of things, a thought designing and everything. That again would be okay. So you only said that before in one of the question that there are like a lot of things which cannot be done by AI, of course, because kind of we have evolved in such a way that again we are also getting fed with the data, but again we have a very much thinking power that we can try to design, or we can think more than AI. At least it will only think in a way it is trained to, or the AIs or AI model is trained to think in a particular way. It will think in that way itself, but the human brain can think more than that, I think. So the AGI is very far. And I think we would automate simpler tasks for a particular humankind for us, but not again. I would also come with I would also say that a lot of people are coming around and saying that, oh, basically, like, will AI take our jobs? No, I don't think so. It won't take your job, but it will create new jobs first of all, and then secondly, it will make your job easier. That's what I'm seeing at this moment, being in Silicon Valley at this time. So
I think we are getting on a good track because my brain is flooding with questions. So it is safe to assume that all the big corporations that are out there in the AI world, such as OpenAI, Anthropic, and the others, I think they would each fall when the AI bubble pops. And the only player that would survive is Gemini, Google, because Google already has a massive infrastructure built around them, and AI is just like one thing. So AI most likely now is novel, meaning it's just a feature set, and it's a very expensive feature set that doesn't do much besides being an assistant, right? Like we do a
yeah,
majority of the work. For example, I prompt and it gives me the data, but I still select what should be copied from that and what needs to be pasted on the doc file. So that's how,
right.
and I don't copy everything to. I reprompt, And you touched on that is the power side of the things. Do you think that this would ever be like a result? Like, what is the major challenge, and why are we even continuing with this AI race when everything seems like going down slopes? Maybe if not today, maybe tomorrow. Why are people pouring money into this? I even read Dennis Hassabis, the head of agentic AI for Google. He
Mhm.
happened to invest in Anthropic much early before Google actually made the official call to do that. So why so much trust on Anthropic in the first place? Is it because once they go to the IPO, everyone can get filthy rich, or what is it like?
It has always been like that. I mean, there are like not only Anthropic, there are like multiple companies, and you already know about the AI bubble, which is currently like bubbling up, which will obviously burst one day. Though it's not only about like Anthropic and like these all the leaders and all the investors are investing in a lot of companies, and then even though they a lot of investors are like kind of throwing around their money just to they just think that that they'll probably try to solve that problem, but the actual problem no one is solving other than so obviously like I think the problem is around like not training the data or like getting. So you already talk about that power stuff, and then maybe the compute power and everything. So what the actual problem I think is basically like building more like doing more like intelligent tasks instead of doing day-to-day tasks. That is the real problem. But these all companies are basically like trying to or the investors are trying to invest money within these companies just to earn money, not solving all actual problems. While you might have also, we also do it as our company. We are using multi-model within our agentic system, but probably that is not solving the problem at this moment. Again, it hallucinates a lot.
Okay. I was just about to ask this very same question. How is Jiva
Mhm.
AI? Because you mentioned so many problems with the current way the infrastructure of AI, wherever it is, right? How is Jiva.ai like solving that? Or let's say I'm a dealer, I want to try Jiva.ai for our marketing purposes. Why should I even do get think of using something like that? I'm pretty sure it's a good assistant, but yeah, I really want to understand.
Yeah, so basically, we basically are trying to build all this digital work as I already mentioned about it. Though in that you should use, because I think you get first of all end-to-end workflow, which a general agent like Claude cannot do it. Even though we use their model as our like to leverage our AI stuff, but not the Claude front end would you be able to do it, or you would be able to do it on the front end of Claude, because it there are like of a hundreds of connectors which needs to be connected to just set up that marketing whole workflow, which we are like trying to do that with all these connectors is in such a way that, for example, if you want to send emails through Gmail, or if you want to send emails through Zoho, so you will these all connectors would be available with our platform, leveraging all these. You can also connect with kind of, if you are already marketing, you can connect with G2, you can connect with a lot of providers out there, and then you can try to build these workflows, which Cloud cannot, like general, like basically general agent like Cloud cannot, yeah, general purpose agent cannot do that.
I think that companies like Jiva.ai is the one that would
Yeah.
actually survive this AI bubble, because it's trying to solve
Yeah.
one specific problem. It's not like being a generalistic model for everyone. And for example, you guys are just operating in marketing and you are building heroes for those purposes rather than being overdone for everything. So therefore, uh, this will this will eventually survive the AI apocalypse. Is what I'm
Yeah.
saying, and
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
also asking at the same time: is it like the way forward? That since AI is not like doesn't have the intelligence part and it's just an assistant, this is a way forward for the future to be very niche with what you build with AI and use AI for, or I just want to feel you investigate.
Yeah, yeah, basically. So I can talk about that a little bit because of what I think around this whole AI industry. Like I'm in Silicon Valley at this moment. Almost all the companies out there, all the startups which people are building are kind of wrappers just above the LLM or an agent layer, just above those LLMs, which if for example a general purpose model would be able to solve it, or kind of um like these all like niche companies like GYI would be able to solve it, then they'll probably die. They'll probably tend to die in such a way that it is not only one company. It would be like out of 100, it would be 80% of the company which will die because just they are just kind of wrappers above that LLM layer or an agent. So yeah, and then obviously that's the main reason because this whole bubble will burst one day, and then yeah, that's what I think around. That's what we talked about, the investors part, or the investors who are investing currently with AI. These will like try to these will basically like lose their money at that moment. So that's what I think around it.
So anything that's basically an AI wrapper will eventually die along with the master. Let's say if they are using Claude,
Yes,
Opus, or anything that they will die. But niche companies like yours will
yes,
sell because it's niche, right?
yes,
Um,
yes, yes, yes.
yeah. Um, okay. I just had a follow up question. I'm just losing it in my mind.
Hmm.
Uh, Let me actually think. Okay. Yeah. The follow up question was basically Jiva.ai is has been trained on massive data sets, and also like you also use Claude's API integration and all of that,
Yes.
depending on what the user wants to use. Um, is it like entirely autonomous, or would you still say an human oversight is required?
Yeah. So basically, like again, again, I would say that again, what I already said that in the earlier part of our conversation, that obviously it will automate a human's task, but it will not replace anyone. So basically, in that case, like all these kind of like oversight would be required in that sense, in a sense that if you try to build this kind of autonomous workers or a digital worker, again the oversight would require in such a way that the human would come in and then see what were the outputs today. Did the model fail, or did anything fail with that workflow? Because some of the tasks are really crucial for that person to be completed or to report to their manager, right? So yeah, obviously this oversight is required. On the other hand, like nowadays you might see in the industry there's a new concept which is coming up, named as forward deployed engineering, which is like there are a lot of forward deployed engineers coming in who are basically like these kind of engineers who will oversee all these agents, LLMs, and basically like overall or in general as AI. Yeah, and then they also basically like would need coding, as well as they will be like all monitoring and stuff. They'll be like a kind of QAs of agents and this and that. So yeah, obviously
Okay.
it will require oversight.
Okay. Now, let's actually come to AL job process so far, right? Oracle has fired like
Mm.
thousands of employees in the past few months, and the same has been
Yeah.
done by, like, Amazon. It is said that it's an excuse, uh, because of the overhiring that happened during the COVID era, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now they are like just found a good reason to fire for. Just today, Meta has announced there isn't going to be any more layoffs, uh, and the one that that's already happening is the last one for this year.
Mm-hmm.
And there's
Yeah.
the US and Iran war as well. And India is already
Yeah.
we're talking about working from home, no, for the next couple of months to basically
Right.
prepare because of this the effects from this war. And
Right.
possibly that would be the case for every maybe a majority of countries because Singapore, Korea were along the same lines. Now,
Right.
if people stay back at home, again, their user consumption of these platforms, their platforms would increase. That means the hiring of
Yes.
more people. Now, I have two questions on
Mm-hmm.
that front.
Yeah.
Should someone, if there's an opening in these companies, firstly, do you think it's fair for any one of us to actually work for them? Because again, it's an unpredictable environment to work for. Like for example, your company like yours is niche. They would definitely value for the long term, right? But these companies treat you as disposable. Number one, and number two, I have is basically, isn't it counterintuitive that you are telling the world that AI will replace you, is making more efficient, at the same time you're uh, posting job ads. Again, it's already happening across Anthropic and all of that. But this will happen in scale because consumption is
Yeah.
being increased. So how do you see those two things?
Yeah, so I have an opinion around these all firings. Um, a lot of companies are basically like behind. I think you probably wouldn't. There wouldn't be a lot of like. That's what I think. Like there wouldn't be a lot of like firings in Google. It was earlier, but not a lot of them. But what these companies are thinking, or like they are trying to do, is basically like they are cutting all these jobs, these labor, all like cutting all these jobs and trying to invest in AI at that particular moment, instead of like having all these kind of like day-to-day work tasks which can again be like automated or kind of not required even. A lot of managers kind of people managers who are not required, those people are getting laid off, and then at that moment all the like money what was going for that particular like managers or kind of employee salary, those people are like being laid off, and then the executives are trying to invest the whole money in AI, with all the or
The
any
data
kind of
centers,
stuff
yeah.
like yeah, obviously data centers first of all, and then there are like obviously like they're also on the other hand, I'll come to that as well. On the other hand, they're also hiring a lot of AI kind of leaders who will try to build a lot of like stuff. I don't know if you heard about Scale AI. Meta has acquired a company which is named as
Yeah.
Scale AI. The guy I think you might have heard about, who is like a chief AI officer of Meta right now. Um, has got a ton of money, which was again just because of this all the employees cut off or a layoff kind of scenario. Yeah. So obviously, the jobs. I think again, like obviously, like you should apply for the job and then you should get a job. Again, it will be undeterministic in the whole industry when there's a what we have seen in the past with the whole like Windows or Intel era. Like when the Windows or the computers were coming in, at that moment we have seen this the whole kind of undeterminism at this the whole industry at that moment, and then it will remain same for some time. Obviously there will be undeterminism in the whole industry, in the whole AI industry. There will be like layoffs, there'll be like hirings, a lot of like back and forth, but still it is gonna be going stable in some years, like from now. I think it won't take like more than 3 4 years from now resolve all this kind of like layoffs and then hiring this and that. But obviously, like I think a lot of like companies who are doing a really good task on this AI, building a lot of models. Obviously, you might have like heard about Waymo, which is like Google's company, like kind of done a lot of research on autonomous driving, this and that. So this is all um, this is all like a good research part. So I think there's no like distinction that someone will have to just fire you. But I think you should apply and you should go in the jobs to just learn about things. You should go and like research about things because they have a ton of money to get into that kind of niche research, or like we also do that kind of niche research because we have a leverage of money or investment. So that's why, yeah.
Okay. Since we're discussing about layoffs and how these companies are actually, it's an excuse, right? At this point, now I feel like I feel embarrassed admitting this, that just today I've seen so many AI videos because I am sucker for knowledge. Okay, I am always, I like to always be
Yeah.
updated. So I was seeing a video from the founder of OpenClaw. You know what OpenClaw is? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
He
Mm-hmm.
actually posted a video where he was doing an experiment trying to build something, and in just
Yeah.
past 7 days he has spent, I think in past 7 days or 30 days he has spent like $250,000 in tokens. I think in a month he has spent 1 million, and in past 7 days he has spent like $250,000 on token. Why would
Mm-hmm.
you even, like, what's the point of AI, right? Like, it's so resource intensive, and it is quite bonkers that it is being told to us this technology would replace humans. I mean, like, you're spending more than you would spend on a human. In just the
Mm.
past 7 days, you spend like $250,000, and in a month, you have spent like $1.3 million. So I
Mm-hmm.
really want to ask, because there are also a lot of, for example, Jensen Huang, right? The
Yeah.
founder and CEO of NVIDIA. His speech has
Mm-hmm.
recently transformed, like from doomsayer speech where it was claiming that all jobs would be lost. Now he's saying like AI is AI, because of AI, no jobs will be lost, and it's just going to
Yeah.
add value to the life. So maybe he knew
Exactly.
something
Yes.
now. Maybe he knows something now because he's seeing the bubble
Mm-hmm.
is going to burst, and he's just trying to
Right.
protect his ass or whatever it is. Um,
Correct.
what are your thoughts on these token spends and then the change in his voice? For example, the founder of Claude, Andrew
Yeah.
Amore, and he's still on the doomsayer lane, and the same goes for Sam Altman. It's just Jensen Huang who has changed his what he actually speaks about AI. So yeah, I would love to
Yeah.
hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, obviously, like it's. I think you have heard about OpenClaw, but I've also like heard about a lot of engineers who are working at Claude or like Anthropic who are using these kind of like all the tokens. Obviously, these will be used instead of I think on the other hand, I would also say these tokens are being used. I don't know. These are a ton of amount of token. Instead of that, you would have hired someone. But I think at that same moment, you wouldn't have hired like 10. So AI can kind of do like tasks for at least 5 people instead of 1 people at that particular within that particular time. So what it can do, what I was just trying to like run certain things using Claude itself with our kind of code base. So it basically like can what it did. I tried to basically like I was if I would have hired one person or a one engineer, it would and that engineer would have done that task within like for one day, the whole task within one day. Instead, the AI did it within like around like I think 1 hour, not more than that, because it ran the whole It ran multiple agents at that particular moment, doing multiple tasks at one time itself. So that's what they are trying to do it. But again, in the end, I only have, as an engineer, I only have to go ahead and review all the code. What's the sense in that case? Um, Even though they are using all this kind of like credits and all these kind of like tokens, but still they again have to go ahead and review it. Instead of that, better you would do it. You would go a little bit slower instead of going very fast with all these like burning all the tokens. Instead, you would have gone slower and done task in a better way to make it kind of more deterministic parts. A lot of, on the other hand, like a lot of like kind of people are trying to run these run these agents with a lot of with a lot of undeterminism, though it is a simple Python code which can be written. Then they are trying to do the same thing with LLM. Not required at all. Yeah, this is an engineering aspect of it, but I don't think using those many tokens would like help. Instead of like just use lesser tokens or hire more people, more engineers. Basically, that's what I think.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. If you are spending like $250,000 on token spend in a week, you might
Yeah,
as well get
yeah,
an employee. At least they
exactly.
have the brain power to think and come up with. See, in India, we actually use a word called jugaad. I'm pretty sure you
Yeah,
know what a jugaad is. If you are
yes.
running on some kind of crunch, we come up with
Hmm.
crazy solution. That's what jugaad is, right? And only a human
Yeah,
can come up with that. AI will just stick to what has been documented, throughout the years in all of the training material it has been trained on, and it will
correct.
not like
Hmm.
go around or try to squeeze into something of that sort, right?
Yeah.
So why are we still like pursuing AI? I mean, I'm pretty sure it should get better at some point, but these companies
Hmm.
that are firing humans just to save, it's AI is efficient. You're spending
Yes.
more per week. $250,000 is like a year annual salary for an employee from the California, right? Doesn't make
Exactly.
sense.
And then there, it might like you might hire about 15 to 20 employees in India, I think. So
Oh,
obviously, like, yeah.
you can actually hire more.
Um,
Yeah.
exactly. And those would be like a very not even a very simple like kind of tier three or tier two engineer. That would be a tier one engineer from IITs or in like the renowned institutions who would do like a lot of kind of research they would have done already with the AI and stuff. So I think they don't. I think they are just kind of very much. A lot of these companies are kind of finicky. They don't know what currently we have to do or where the race is going, where they have to go particularly. Instead, they are just trying to figure it out on their own because again, there's like a speed they want. Firstly, they are basically like as you know, Claude OpenAI came first and then Claude came second. So they're just trying to like win that
Differentiate.
particular race.
Yeah.
Yes, differentiate and maybe win that particular race, but they won't be able to do that, I think, that easily.
Okay. I also came across a video, I mean, like about a few days ago, that delve,
Yeah.
DELVE, that
Hmm.
word wasn't something in America that was used commonly. However, the
Hmm.
increase of that word has increased along with AI, because the argument is that humans trained AI, and that creation is like training humans back, their vocabulary and everything. So that also means our intellect is being suppressed because of this particular tool. I mean, like with everything, our cell phones, our laptop, everything has become efficient and easy, and that was the goal with the technology, right? But how we think and what we speak is also getting modified because of this tool. if I have to ask you for your honest opinion, uh, forget that you're the head of AI or you're working the AI space. Firstly, I would want to ask, what do you think AI is a tool for the humanity is good, or maybe the people that are leading it is just evil? And like that's a very strong word, but again, there's more alternative. And how, like, what are some kind of, like, for example, with social media, there are like there are some kind of things that are encouraged. Don't spend too much time on social media because
Right.
your IQ lowers. You build ADHD or ADD. So to avoid all of
Right.
those, or to obviously, to prevent some kind of uh, insecurity, spend less time on
Correct.
screen. So what kind of guardrails or something that we need to be aware when using AI? How much should be relying? How much should be known?
Yeah, I have a very strong opinion on that, and I've been thinking since so long regarding this that now basically like AI is trying to govern us, not we doing that for like not the other side. Basically, like we do what we do, everything. A lot of people I've seen they are just directly instead of using even Google, what we were doing before for a research, instead we are doing Google, like we are going to ChatGPT or kind of like Claude to run those kind of tasks, which is not even required. I mean, they are just trying to find meanings or anything kind of that. Using these, and then again, like it is always it has two aspects. I think obviously it is good as well as bad as well. So if you are a lot of thoughts and designs or kind of the thoughts which need to be given by a human brain is given by AI. So it has a like 10 kind of things it knows. It will only answer within out of it, but a human brain can think more than that even. And then second, the first aspect was basically like it can try to it is basically like the human brain can like first of all, that's what I was saying, like the human brain can work more or like think more, but a AI model cannot do that. That's what I think, that these all aspects would be um, like removed with that, with this whole kind of like scenario.
Okay, if there's one AI company that you really cheer for, I mean, like among the five majors, Gemini, uh, OpenAI, Anthropic, Perplexity, and DeepSeek, which company, like which product do you like the most, and you actually cheer for?
I would again, obviously, like I already mentioned that these are doing a crazy marketing, but the technology which Claude has built is actually good. I would say. And then what they have built around the harness, the agent harness system, what they have built around, I think the memory, the skills, the context. The models is a different thing from like altogether. Their model is totally different, but they're like also built a real AI architecture or a orchestration layer, which is really helpful. I would go with the Claude if you ask that question.
From my for me, I would say Claude is one, but Perplexity is also really good. Uh,
Yes,
for research, it's phenomenal, and at the same time, they have this Discover section where it summarizes the news and it delivers to you in a very easily, like you can take away everything easy, and it also sources from multiple different news sources, so it's a good handy
right.
tool. And I think
Yes,
secretly, uh, Perplexity will survive, though it's not like well renowned yet, or very popular as the other ones, but Perplexity should definitely add value to humans. Human life is something I and
it will
since
do. Yes,
since you mentioned, like we were talking about Google I/O earlier, right? Um, AI is everywhere now. in the like it was just on the
Mhm.
search box before on the Google
Yeah.
page. Now it's also in the YouTube, and the whole
Yeah.
view and experience, the art of getting to know the creator is basically getting lost. For example, I myself, when I'm in
Correct.
rush and when I'm coming across a YouTube video and I'm like, just let's summarize
Right.
the whole video. And I try to read the summary and I'm trying to get a sense. I've got the sense, but still it's missing the few pieces of information. And
The
I'm like,
connection.
not just the connection, the knowledge base too. Meaning it
Yeah.
delivers a summary, but it doesn't, it's not like how the user would describe. For example, I'll tell you what. I'll give you a quick
Right.
example.
Mm-hmm.
I I can check out your LinkedIn profile and get to know your experience. But it's a whole
Yeah.
different thing if I get to learn it directly from you. Yesterday, just
Mm-hmm.
last night, I was speaking with my founder. Again, I know what he has done, what he is doing, and all of that, right? But I still
Yeah.
wanted to learn more from him. And I was like, I really want to know, who are you? What have you done? And we had a 1 hour chat just on that. That meeting was supposed to be like 30 minutes, but it lasted like, another 30 minutes. The point is
Yeah.
how a human would describe, AI couldn't, can just summarize the information. So my question basically is,
That's right.
AI is everywhere. Do you think, and it's counterintuitive for Google as well, meaning that Google makes money if people stay longer on your video. Why are you feeding
Yes.
then this technology everywhere? And what's actually happening in the Silicon Valley? Everyone is like AI, 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 AI. What is the way
Right.
to profitability?
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, like everyone is again. I have already told you about this. Like, kind of, they are trying to build wrappers, not building, not solving the real problem. Everyone is trying to. Even though I have already told you this, like, even though the thing is kind of very deterministic, that's just kind of very autocomplete search or like this, even though that is required, people are trying to implement AI or kind of chatbot within their system so that it looks kind of, on the front it looks, this is an AI company or this is an agent company, but it is really not. It is very simplistic. It is a very simple task to do. And then if you would have already, like, I think you would have already visited a lot of website, or you would have visited a lot of like applications out there. All of them have a chatbot. It doesn't even work. The AI is not actually, the agents or the AI is not actually working for a lot of people, for a lot of companies as well, because it's kind of wrapper they're trying to build it, so it is not even required.
I was just about asking about the human experience, basically summarization, meaning AI is on Google, AI is on
Yeah.
YouTube, so people are summarizing. Do you think that this should be something that should be avoided, meaning that you need to enjoy your own research and
Right.
something of that sort? The human experience is something that I'm always interested in discussion.
Yeah, okay, I got it. Okay, yeah, yeah, obviously, like human experience, like very much, obviously I mentioned about the connection, which is getting lost. Secondly, there's, if we try to kind of research, out of 100 things, we will try to learn a lot of things and then our brain will work more. But at this moment, all the research and everything is done by AI. So our brain is like, a lot of people's brain is dead at this moment. They just tend to do all the stuff using AI. Even there are, I have seen a lot of like kind of thought leaders who were before the kind of thought leaders. They're just trying to go in Claude, typing it, not even thinking about it. They just bring all this content and everything from there. So that's the reason. I think, first of all, there's a connection which is getting lost, all the summarization and stuff because of this. I was just watching a video today, and then I just tried that YouTube summarization today. Um, wasn't that realistic, because I had to watch. I again, in the end, I just tried using, oh, just answer this, that. with me. But again, it didn't reply that particular thing what I wanted to learn from it. Instead, I have to watch the whole 45 minutes video from it and then try to run around. Yeah, my stuff with that. So
Okay.
obviously, like we are losing a lot of things around it.
Okay. Let's actually jump to some of the users' question. Like I said,
Yeah,
I was asking on Reddit, and I have a bunch of questions. Let me share my screen now.
yeah.
Then we
Hmm.
can get started. So we have this question from this user. This is for Luna. Ask about average employees and AI usage. What tools are they giving the typical employee and nail their feet to the floor? They say Copilot, make them say which of the 900 Copilot variations are most widely deployed. Again, this is something that has been on my head as well. A lot of companies, like let's say uh, Uber, Meta, they also have the leader.
Yeah.
Yeah, but AI is not doing the much of this stuff. It's maybe one section of it is like useful, but at the end, it is not. And it's so business intensive. So yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, so I think a lot of like what I already mentioned about this, but a lot of AI is not very much useful because they are again like not very deterministic. Even though like not very sure about like what all applications where it is not very much like useful, but again. Um, there are chatbots out there. There are agents out there, but we actually don't want to use it even. I actually tried after a very long time. I tried that kind of summarization and everything today on YouTube. Yeah, that's what I think around this. Like, this is not like a lot of things are not useful. Even though they are trying to like the companies are trying to move towards this, they are just trying to like marketed as a AI company or an agent company, but it is not that useful for end user. So yeah, yeah. I think I would say what I think it's. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are. You are.
Yeah. Uh, Let me see. If overhyping autonomous agent capabilities is harming AI overall as a tool for humans, and why short-term profit motives favor industry. Yeah, so that's what is going on at this moment. Is um, um, I think it looks like basically like the question is I think around overhyping. Yes, overhyping is actually over like backfires. It is like overhyping generally backfires, and it's worth naming the mechanism when the agents are sold more as more autonomous than they actually are. Like people try to deploy them in places they are like not ready for. They just they just get burnt out, and then discuss the agents, and then even um um, so basically, what I think like hype doesn't have, uh, hype doesn't even just inflate expectation. It actually tries to like poison the whole well for the legitimate task or the work today. Yeah, and I think on the profit motive part, I think I would be very like fair rather than like very much seeing rather than thinking about it more. It's not that like companies are lying. It's that like incentives, rewards, the demo over the deployment. There's like a very simple autonomous demo raises like funding or kind of a very simple autonomous like fleshy kind of autonomous demo raises funding. They gain all this press and they gain all the valuations and the unglamorous work of like reliability kind of building all these evaluations, and building all the guardrails uh, is like is like leaving behind. So those are left behind. That's what is going on at this moment. So yeah. This is, I think, this has started since very recently, where we have been using this whole capability of agent to agent. No, actually, is it, yeah, token to token messaging, where I think the whole premise has like kind of is a it an assumption of token to token. It that isn't any kind of reality really separate from metrics to metrics, but under the very hood, or under the table, it is kind of like token interactions are like actually those are metrics operations. Because while I think within the machine learning phase, when we were doing classic machine learning, like in the earlier phase of this whole AI or model, like LLM era, um, we were using these kind of like metrics to solve all these kind of classic machine learning problem. But attention is literally like matrices multiplying kind of like query keys and value propositions. Um, there is kind of like the attention metric score, the whole thing. So at the implementation level, that kind of distinction collapses. Everyone is trying to like optimizing transformers is already working in matrix land. So I would say the token to token is isn't like really very much separate from metrics to metrics though. So yeah.
Okay, so I also have this question, and the question starts from here. What is your vision for what the head of AI should be doing in the next 2 years? Which I guess is a sort of adjustment to the tech, and then which I presume will be working alongside AI already.
Yeah, so basically, what I think in the next 2 years are about like all the adjustment around within that industry, within the AI industry, taking a flood of like um, new capability, and making it reliable. And then more deterministic. I would go ahead with that. Less kind of chasing all these demos, more kind of building towards the boring infrastructures, like kind of building all these evals, guardrails, deciding what's actually production ready. Yeah, right now, what I think right now at head of AI is basically like a translator between what the tech can do and what the business can trust. That's what I think. Like three to five out of out is it shifts basically. The infrastructure question is like mostly solved. So the role becomes like org design, how humans and agents work side by side, who owns what, where the like what I think like where the human stays in the loop, and the real asker, right, that they even have the company which would define this role differently. So that's what I think. Like head of AI would want at this moment, that how the humans can work with the agents side by side. So yeah. Yeah, honestly, what I think, like next frontier isn't a new thing. After agent, it's like making all these kind of agent, which is like undeterministic. What I told you earlier, very like making these agent actually work. Right now, we have these agents that demo well, but actually break in the production level. So the real frontier is reliability. Honestly, I would say like agent that can run for long horizons, like without kind of drifting in between. or like leaving their task in between, that you can that you can trust, like kind of unsupervised. um yeah but if I Yeah, but if I had a name what comes in my mind, or like what comes structurally after that would be, I think, it's like multi-agent system, not one agent doing a single task, but kind of like but like what I already mentioned earlier, but like kind of fleet, or like agent fleet that is like coordinating, negotiating, kind of all their, like they have multiple specialties, or like kind of specializing. This would build the whole org of people who does these all tasks, like at a single time. And the hard problem, I would say, is there isn't like intelligence at this moment. It's kind of um, the whole connective tissue which would build all this agent and LLM come together to build the whole like multi-agent architecture. I think really great question. The direction is actually really going towards open source, and like local models are closing the real gap very much fast. Um, the gap, I think, that's left is like kind of shrinking. But I would also say that like I would separate these. There are like kind of two things. The model becoming a real commodity doesn't mean that AI becomes a commodity. When I think when the model layer kind of, I think, tries to flattens out, the value like moves up the stack. I think in that case, to building all kind of these harnesses, doing orchestration, making the agents more reliable, or I would say like agent actually works, or agent doing actually doing works. The connective tissue around the kind of like permissions, identity, security, and integration into the real system. That's where we are trying to play. So yeah. This is a really good question as well. Like on choosing the smart ones, and like shopping for a particular agent that's starting like from kind of I think from kind of very like painful, kind of very well scoped workflow, and asking what could own it. The selection criteria that actually matters. Not the real like matter, not the benchmark source. There are like all these kind of reliability, observability, and whether it fits their security and identity like stack or not. Kind of like that's what I think. Like, can you see what the agent did? Can you control it? Can you like kind of you do the agent have that kind of permissions? Can you trust it if it is like if it trust it unsupervised, or kind of does it even require the supervision? The companies that lead with which agent is smartest, like tend to actually, I would say, struggle a lot at that moment. The ones that lead with which agent can cover, which agent can I govern, tend to kind of succeed more. That's what I think. Kind of like more on the governing side, but instead of like using the identity, that is the more important part. Yeah, I would actually like say kind of I will actually um push back on that kind of framing. Token spend is an input, not a particular, like I already mentioned that, but it's not an output. Like Measuring the productivity by how many tokens someone burns is like measuring an engineer how much electricity they have used for their laptops, or kind of their laptop is using how much electricity. So you can spend a tons of amounts of tokens, obviously, running a badly designed kind of, I think, a very bad kind of agent
Model.
loop, which is, yeah. No, I think the agent loop, it can go round and round and round and round, even though it won't also like run that particular task for you. So model using the model using these many tokens wouldn't help you, because the agent is again like not designed um, uh, to do that task badly, and produce nothing basically in the end. So the so that's what I think. Yeah, the real signal isn't the consumption; it's actually the leverage. Wow, that's actually a really good questions. Like, um, I think I actually have some points around this, like what skills should human should focus on to stay like more valuable is, I think, would be kind of like judgment. As AI gets more cheaper and cheaper at kind of like outputting, or I would say like producing these kind of things like code, or we can very simply we can say kind of text, or we can very simply kind of say do the AI can also do the like analysis. Um, the this the skill which we are lacking, like it becomes like knowing what is actually like worth producing from that AI system, whether the output is actually good, and what to do with it. So first of all is what skill should you like human focus on to stay valuable. Um, Second, I would say one AI trend people are like blindly following without understanding. That's what I think. There's like treating agent as like kind of autonomous when they are really not yet. They are actually not autonomous at this moment, but they will probably like in the like long run, they will become more autonomous. So people wire up a multi-agent system because it is like more impressive. It sounds more impressive actually, but it actually doesn't work. So that's what I think on my side. And then like on the first practical advice for a student building a career in AI, like I would suggest is like building something really you can like, and actually like I think ship it end to end. However it is like small or big, not another kind of tutorial, or like you should actually build any kind of, you should not kind of tutorial like go ahead with the tutorials, like using, there's a lot of tutorials out there like deep learning.ai, of course. You should read them, you should listen to them, but solving actually problem would allow you to learn more from one deployed project. When you think about it, or when you go ahead and build something, the things will break, and then you'll face a lot of like tens of hundreds of like things, so that you'll basically like go ahead and try to learn deeply their fundamentals, because a lot of things change every day, every month within AI. So I think you should start shipping any kind of project, a real world product, as soon as possible.
Okay, that's a good advice, Anubhav, honestly. And we have
Yeah.
the next one, which is even I was actually guessing about this. That is how much of the AI's current capabilities are artificially limited. They should probably be far more advanced by now. Or do you think it's just that marketing that's showing that AI is really advanced? Or we would love to know the truth.
So there are two things here. First is actual what is reality and what is a myth. The reality is yes, deployed models are actually constrained. Like a lot of them have, because why I'm saying a lot of them is basically there are a lot of models which are also kind of like very not deliberately constrained. Like DeepSeek and I would also say on the other hand is like OpenAI. They have a lot of models. That's what I'm saying. Yes, and the deploy models, a lot of them are with safety guardrails. Like I was doing kind of prompting this morning. They refuse to answer these kind of questions which are related to kind of phishing or something like that. So a lot of them are really deliberately constrained. They have a safety guardrail. They have refusals. They have like kind of content filters. Um, so the product you use kind of is a kind of like tuned down version of the raw model. That's very true and intentional. But on the other hand, the myth is actually the implication that there's some vastly more capable secret AI being held back of it. So yeah, that there's mostly like gap always between these two, reality and myths. Yeah, I think I would. This is a really good question. I think I think it's a fair question. I think I would start by owning it first of all, and then maybe yeah. Part of my job is like automating my own first of all my own tasks away. So which I'm doing like using Cloud Code at this moment, and of course like there's like other models which are Cloud Code FX. But I don't think the irony like fully lands there. I think my job isn't being the AI; it's deciding what is actually worth building today. Whether it's secondly, like whether it is safe or not, where the human are still needed to be there. So yeah, um, yeah. And the other thing I think I would say is doing that kind of task well doesn't delete that particular rule. Um, it it actually tries to move a level up. So yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, so I would say honestly, like no, because like mostly we are not the person is actually right. The initiate in the incentives what we have the incentive reward which we get like the marketing it's very exciting part. I think it sells product, raises fund, like for example, you can take an example of Claude. While they are like selling their product, raising their funds, everything looks good. Everything is really like good, in the sense the conversation around kind of AI, the identity, purpose, and displacement are like very slow and very hard, and don't like fit in like kind of when we kind of try to launch and then try to announce that particular launch. I think that is a little bit hard part of it. So most company I think kind of skip that part. Yeah, and they just try to sell more of it and raise more money out of it. Yeah, a really good one. There's a lot here. So let me give the honest thought line on it. On ROI, like kind of we measure like very much bounded workflows, not kind of very much AI broadly. I would say the wins are very like narrow, repetitive, high volume kind of task where you can like baseline all this like workflow time or like cycle time and error rate like like before and after a particular agent runtime, I would say. um that particular thing meet an ROI. um the open-ended thing that does agent does everything. Pets often kind of like don't yet, and then we say so. If we can't like we say so because if we can't trace it to a PNL at that particular PNL line, it won't. I think we call it kind of R&D, not kind of um, some agent or the thing is returning that particular task even. Um, on the governance side of it, it's genuinely very different from kind of traditional tech. Um, as I've already mentioned it like multiple times, agents are not very deterministic. Software is very deterministic. Yes, again like very probabilistic. So the question shifts that does it even work? To how often or like kind of how do we catch that particular kind of drift within that particular runtime? Um, who is accountable when it's like very wrong and on a work design. So this is what I think around it. You can like I think we learn on the other hand we learn end to end with all these human in the loop checkpoints and audit trails as controls, and then yes, we also with the AIs, I think 10x, like one step you have just moved the kind of I think the bottleneck which will go in the downstream, like tools like SIPOC matters a lot exactly because you have to be like very um you have to basically like try to rebalance the whole flow in that like the theme I would say is like I don't the theme out of this whole like answer would be AI doesn't earn ROI being by being like added to a particular process. It actually earns it. It earns it when I think you kind of I guess like when you try to redesign the whole process around it. That's what I think. Yeah, but I really like a good questions. I would love. I think the scaling alone probably won't be able to get won't be able to get us there. Scaling has been like very much kind of astonishing, and it's kind of like not done its task, but but it mostly makes the model better at the thing they are already doing actually I would say, like or kind of predicting from patterns the things what are listed within this question is basically like kind of around very much persistent memory, real goals like learning from all kind of feedback from the users, and then particular like interacting with the world in the world. um yeah, that's what I think. Like those, those are not that things that that just emerge from a particular like large language model. They are very much architectural. So I think it's not kind of scaling. It's not scaling versus building a whole new architecture. it's both actually. Like building all these kind of scale models is the engine, wrapped totally in the AI agent system that gives like them kind of memory, them the feedback loops, and then the ability to act and kind of learn from the consequences or learn from the feedback what they have. Yeah, today's model are basically like frame or I think like very much frozen or like very much stuck after like training. They don't truly learn from the experience the way a person can do. So yeah, in that case, that's the hard unsolved problem at this moment. Yeah, and then there's a lot of problems around memories as well. Yeah, but mostly around like these all models are like frozen around after these trainings. Yeah, so I think I would say the computer use. It's very much recent, which was released. The agent can go ahead and actually operate a screen that the way a person does it. In a way, they can like click, they can type, they can go ahead and navigate apps. They can like fill all the forms, like for example, like filling your application, your job application or anything, moving kind of between one application to another application. Most of the people like still think of an AI as a chatbot within a box, but that gives you like text back, but it can already drive software directly. Like I think you might have used computer use from like, Claude. It is actually like it can actually operate the screen as a human. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, sounds good. Okay. So basically, like, rules are basically like getting very much flatter and more like leveraged at this moment. One person with like kind of good agents cover with what a small team can use to do. So that's what is happening. And then what our vision around this is, the whole thing is like a manager would have multi-agent or a fleet of agent who can do all these tasks for that manager. So yes, the structure is becoming like like changing a little bit. How do I ensure like AI training for employees? Mm, what I think the real shift isn't teaching all these kind of tools. It's like it's kind of I think changing all this mindset. Um, I think moving people from doing these tasks to deploying and kind of supervising it. As I already mentioned about these kind of supervision rules, which are like forward deployed engineer, and then yeah, basically like creating all this staffs. These all forward deployed engineers are kind of managers of those agents. Um, yeah, they basically know the scope of work. They try to check all the output. They basically they can basically like intervene or kind of come in when these agents are working at that moment. So I think these forward deployed engineering concept I think has more stakes of getting like agent or like training more supervisor. So yeah. Yeah, an interesting thing I was reading day before yesterday's around Claude has I think bought or acquired a company which has local data centers, so they will use your home as a data center or your devices as a particular data center for them to work on. But yeah, I think the answer is kind of for this particular question is around, I think I would say yes and also kind of no. Um, it it has a split by a particular use case rather than like replacing one with the other. The local models would genuinely like change the mathematics for kind of inference. The smaller models running on your particular hardware. I think Apple has already brought this concept, and or I think they are trying to build this concept that the small models will be there, which will run on your machine or your iPhone or your iPad, so as to keep things private. Um, and keep the sensitive things within your computer or your device, with leveraging of AI. So yeah, that's what I think around this idea. But it my question would be yes as well as no. Always like depends on the the use case. I would say that the biggest unsolved problem isn't like the intelligence of the model. The agents are very much, I think, good enough or a little bit smart enough. It's basically like reliability over like long horizon agents. So yeah, that's what I think. The reliability, the agent actually doesn't work. That's what the thought is around within the whole industry at this moment. Um, how do you decide what AI use case like? Okay, I think like first it is like is the value like is the value actually measurable? First, I would say. Um, Yeah, very much tied to a like concept always, sorry, very much tied to a cost or kind of revenue line, not kind of or like innovative. Second, is it very much reliable? Again, enough to it's very much reliable enough to run kind of like I would say the word I would use is like even babysitting it because a POC and then giving it a or POC or a demo won't like really prove that it will work on production. So yeah, that's what I think. I mean, around this part of it. So but what's the like internal resistance about when the AI affects the headcount? It's real and pretending. Otherwise, it will destroy the trust. That's what I think. Yeah. Yeah, I think on the solo, like on the data mode side, like solo founders should stop trying to like kind of um, the size of the data set. You will never. I think the small business owners or solo founders like you'll never out data as kind of what enterprise has, and you won't be like and honestly you don't need to do that. The moat isn't around I think the raw data which you would get it. It's like it's the proprietary workflow data. That's what I think around this on the data moat. But when I think about the second part of it, which is like whether token or local, um, I would very much simply say that stay on the APIs while you are still figuring it out, what is working and what is not. The flexibility is worth the cost, but the uh, that's what like most of the startups are doing at this moment. Like use tokens first, but later on you can try your local models again. Uh, yeah. switch it to local after that. When you are proven, like you have proven your product fit within a market, then you can switch to local. Yeah, I was talking with my team about the same thing, yesterday. This is a very fair question, and the premise, what I think is very much, is like half right. I would say, kind of partly right at this moment. A lot of pricing today is obviously like subsidized because a lot of companies have their like funded by all this investment to win to win all these market shares, and then like they are all always not governed by profit. So yes, like expect all these prices to rise like towards real cost at some point in the end. But two things would I would say that will leverage this. First, the underlying cost of interference is very genuinely like falling at this moment. We have a better hardware. We have like smaller models, um, having I think more efficiency. And then I think the second point would be the use cases that actually are surviving, and they are the ones which are actually cheap. So they are the ones tied to real value, I would say, instead of like having all this subsidized model. Yeah, obviously, like a lot of pricing today is subsidized just because of the funding. Yeah, I think a lot of companies which are related to like all these general purpose kind of agents are very much overestimating at this moment. And then those are like blowing up all these costs and everything. Even though, and then a lot of and then a lot of like real software companies, the research companies, which are doing all these tasks around AI with AI, and then within that particular software industry are, I think, underestimating at this moment.
Okay. So that was a series of questions that you really answered for us, Anubhav. And again, there's so much to go on. Like this topic is like basically endless. In fact, I was just pinged a notification about topic. But again, I can deep dive. We can deep dive on that. Yeah, it
Yeah.
just it's a constraint. It's a time constraint. I know it's a very late night for
Mm-hmm.
you as well. So I think thank you for joining
Yeah.
us for today, and I hope to continue this conversation in the near future, not far away from today. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you.